Hey everyone!
Oh, hi!
Welcome to our first ever Traitors recap.
I am so excited for this.
Yes.
I have never looked forward more than I have looked forward for this.
Whoa! So we watched Traitors Season 1 this past year and fell in love with it, and we decided this is the first time in a while that we're going to be recapping
something other than
not
Big Brother.
Yeah. Something other than Big Brother.
Yeah.
So we're very excited to add this to the lineup.
Yeah.
Season 2 just started last night, and normally we will be posting these videos on Fridays, but this first week was a little weird.
3.
And they released it at night. So
yeah.
That's why we're doing this today.
We're working on the weekend.
But it's worth it.
It is worth it because of Allan.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Allan is everything.
Whoever decided that Allan Cumming should be the host of this show, you nailed it.
You really
nailed
did.
It in one.
I can't think of any other host that I would rather see than Allan.
Yes. The personality, the charisma,
the fashion,
the sass, the fashion,
the glasses,
yes,
the wig, the catchfritage, the dog, Lala.
Oh, I'm so glad his dog is on this season.
I love it.
If you find yourself wanting more Allan after the show, I highly, highly, highly recommend his book, Baggage, Tales from a Packed Life. I just finished this like 2 days ago, and it was
I'm reading
excellent.
it now.
Yes, you are reading it now. And obviously, check out all of his work.
And I just found out
the book, fantastic.
That Allan and I are the same age, only by like a week.
Yeah,
difference.
He's only a week younger than you, basically.
Yeah.
And he's an Aquarius. But anyway, we could drool over Allan all day. But
Probably.
We have other things to talk about as well.
Probably. All right, so not only Allan is in this. There is a cast of 21.
21.
Amazing. Well, they're not all amazing.
There's some filler queens in there,
There's some filler queens. And there's some queens.
Peppermint! I'm so excited for Peppermint.
Amazing reality TV and reality legends.
Yes.
Legends. I'm a legend.
And again, there's some filler queens in there. But a lot of legends. And it's crazy to see, like, worlds colliding.
Yes. The Challenge, Big Brother, Survivor, Parliament.
What? Housewives.
Drag Race. Was Peppermint on Drag Race?
Yes, of course.
Okay. All right. I don't really remember Peppermint
was a
as much as you.
finalist on Drag Race.
I don't remember her.
She's everything.
She is. I enjoy her immensely. And some Love Island, blah, blah. Backler.
Yeah, Backler. So there's a lot going on here. We're not going to break down the whole entire cast, but just name off a few of your faves. Who are you loving so far?
I'm loving Sandra.
Course. Okay, Sandra with the braces.
I know. Parvati, of course.
Of course. Dan, Janelle.
Yeah, I mean...
We've grown to love Johnny Bananas after watching him on House of Villains.
Yes. Yeah, Johnny Bananas, I'm really coming around.
He's very entertaining.
What do you feel about when Dan and Sandra were having dinner?
Oh, and Maxine
comes in and he's like, "Oh, I'm just stopping by. Bye." And then Dan is like, "Should we have talked to him?" And Sandra was like, "No, he's like nobody.
He's irrelevant." That's what she said. Oh, I love Max and I love Dancing with the Stars.
I have a feeling Max is not long for the show.
I don't know. He's not like prepared for this mental competition like this, you know?
Murder.
I mean, that's like one of the biggest things on these kind of shows. You don't just walk into rooms and then like walk out without engaging in conversation. Because it looks sketchy.
Exactly. Well, there's a lot of sketchiness going on in this first episode.
Yes. Oh my goodness. All right. So the prize.
Up to 250,000. It's not set in stone.
No, because they're gonna get this money through accomplishing missions, challenges, and if they do not accomplish those missions and challenges, they don't get the prize for that week.
Yeah, exactly.
So it all depends on how they do in those competitions.
All right, so this show takes place in the Scottish Highlands in this beautiful castle that they don't get to sleep in. But they make it seem like they do, which is hilarious.
It's like Big Brother reindeer games where they're going in there for the filming of the show.
Day. Yeah.
And then they go to their hotel to sleep.
Okay. So everybody's riding in their cars at the beginning, you know, like those expensive. I don't think they were Land Rovers. I don't know what kind of car they were.
It's like a Jeep kind of thing, like a Jeep Land Rover type deal. I don't know.
It looked like a
they got those Traitors
G-Wagon, a Jeep G-Wagon situation.
Yeah.
So
I don't know cars.
Everybody's all like, I'm dating you, and Larsa Pippen is with that
her boyfriend is there.
Michael Jordan.
Yeah, what? Son of Michael Jordan. Okay.
Marcus.
I guess she wants to stay in the basketball realm.
Yeah. We're seeing all the, you know, everybody's like, oh, we're in like the good car.
Well, it cracked me up when Parvati was like, I hope I don't see Sandra here. Cut to Sandra in another car.
Yeah.
Yikes.
All right, so Allan has a goth punk drum line waiting for them at the entrance to the castle.
Yeah.
Better than bagpipes, baby. These guys were like,
sick.
You couldn't even see who they were. They had like the full hoods on and everything. All right, so they all get out and they're all like, champagne, like when you go on below deck and they have the champagne waiting for you as you get out of the car.
Yeah.
Yes. And then the fire flashes. They had like these pyrotechnics go off. And who appears? None other than the one and only Allan Cumming. Murder!
Willkommen, bienvenue, welcome.
Oh my God, the fashion already. Unbelievable.
He's just dripping with charisma.
And Lala is there, his little baby.
Yeah, so everybody was psyched to see him. He's telling them, like...
And everybody's crowing about Allan, too. Like, oh, I love that Allan.
Of course.
Yeah.
Who doesn't?
Exactly.
How could you not?
Right. So he tells them the whole gig. And already... he's like, all right, shut up and get in the house. Like, get to know each other because you're going to start killing each other.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be picking out the traitors soon. So this is one of the last moments before everything changes.
Exactly. So already we're seeing some alliances. Sandra, Parvati, Peppermint.
These ladies can get through it. They can get over their differences.
Yes.
There's some debate, like, who's the real Queen of Survivor? Is it Sandra? Is it Parvati? Is Suri in there?
I think we all know the answer to the real Queen of Survivor. And it starts with an S.
Oh! I mean, my Mount Rushmore of Survivor, the three of them would all be included. Of course. Like, they're all up there, right?
Yes, of course. And then another little alliance, the Challenge Alliance, CT... Johnny Bananas, Trishelle.
Yeah,
they're all
like,
in
we're
the
all
bar.
Stick together.
Of course you are.
I've not seen Trishelle in a long time.
No. And
that was like back when I used to watch The Challenge, which was many, many years ago.
Yeah. Remember the challenge?
Yes.
We would make the faces.
We would reenact the intro credits every time.
And then Larsa Pippen obviously is in an alliance with her boyfriend, Marcus.
I hope so. But honestly, I could see them take each other out at some point.
Absolutely. Do you think it would end the relationship?
No.
Really?
I don't think so.
I don't know about that.
You think?
It could.
I mean, I don't know them that well. We don't watch Miami, so we don't know the full deal with Larsa. We've just seen her here and there in different things, but we don't watch Miami, so...
All right, well, who cares? It's time to go to the table.
Oh, the round table.
On the round table. We kill when we are able. If we are traitors or not. Yeah. All right, so Allan says, it's about to get kinky. Put on your blindfolds, kids. And everybody puts on their blindfolds.
He's going to walk around.
He pranced around the table.
He's going to pick some traitors. And before, they had like little interviews, one-on-ones with Allan.
Little sound bites.
And we saw this in the trailer, Johnny Bananas with him, and he's all like, well, how does it feel to be
bitch.
the second best dressed on your own show?
Yeah.
And Allan...
So back off, bitch.
Yeah.
Even the dog is so well dressed.
Of course.
Lovely. I wonder what the dog thinks about all this.
I'm sure she's having a good time. She gets to hang out with her daddy.
As long as Allan's here.
Yeah.
All right, so Allan walks around and...
You gotta walk around multiple times because it's gonna be too obvious if you only walk around once.
And of course, everyone's senses are heightened to, did Allan hesitate? Mm-hmm. Did Allan cough? Is somebody breathing heavy? Is somebody... pooping their pants or what?
And I mean, he's got some fake outs baked in there because he doesn't want it to be super obvious. Yeah, he'll be like... because if you get tapped on the shoulder, you're a traitor. So everyone's waiting and like...
I was fully expecting there to be 3.
Right, because that's how they started it last year.
Yes.
But this year is different.
2. 2 traitors.
Yeah.
Precious. And it is Phaedra and Dan.
Oh, okay. So Dan was like begging to be a traitor. I'm not surprised that he was picked because he's Dan. I also honestly wasn't surprised that Phaedra was picked because I think she's going to make a really good traitor.
I agree. Plus, that Phaedra commentary, I'm sure they were
next level.
We need somebody in here who's going to make this show freaking interesting and snarky, so let's pick her as a traitor.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have suspected Phaedra, if I was on the show.
Right.
But I absolutely would have expected Dan.
I mean, if you know who Dan is,
yeah,
Dan is like number 1 suspect, in my opinion.
Exactly.
But yeah, Allan let them know that the traitors will be picking one more person to join. He didn't say that there were only 2, because they don't know how many there are.
Right.
But he said that the traitors will be picking one more person to join them on the dark side.
And of course, everyone's like, oh my god, who's it going to be? And right out of the gate, Janelle is calling out John, the
accusations
former
are flying.
Speaker of the House of Parliament.
Now, we don't know his politics. We don't know all that. So I have no idea what he's like in that sense.
Right.
On this show, comic relief. Like, he's all over the place.
He's a mess.
I mean, he was sitting there when he had the blindfold on, and he was like...
Yeah.
So I don't blame Janelle for being like, are you okay? Like, what's going on there? He says he has asthma, and he was just, like, freaking out. She seems to think he got picked.
I have a problem with people who start throwing other people under the bus. To me, that would be a red flag.
Yeah, I mean, it's part of the game,
But I guess I would be wrong because she's not a traitor.
Yeah.
And then Larsa immediately calling out Parvati.
Yeah, she was like, I heard Allan's jacket go up.
Russell, yeah.
Like, he was picking you. And Parvati was like...
No.
Yeah, she was really annoyed.
I love Parvati's face all the time. She's always just like...
Yes.
All right, so Dan is sitting pretty because Larsa is really, really doing the most. Yeah. Continuing to throw shade at Parvati for being a traitor.
Even after they break up the convo at the table, everybody's going off on their own, having little side convos. And he was thinking, I'm going to have to maybe create a distraction or a diversion, and now he doesn't have to do that.
Don't have to do it. Just got to keep my mouth shut.
Yeah.
Just act normal.
Yeah.
Walk, walk, walk.
No one seems to be
talk.
suspicious of him. Phaedra's also doing a very good job laying low.
Absolutely. The UK Love Island girl, Ekin-Su, started calling out Bergie, the Love Island. Yeah, and Bergie is like a newborn baby.
He reminds me of
doesn't know what's going on.
A baby deer, and he's like shaky on his legs.
I can see like being a fish out of water for this game because like you don't know all that stuff. You're just on like some sex show, but it's like he doesn't know anything.
Yeah, I think he's in way over his head here.
Way.
Also, it cracked me up when Ekin-Su was all like, "Yeah, I'm hot, but I'm like relatable too because I can twist my arm around."
Wow,
I like
great.
Cartoons.
Yeah.
And conspiracy theories, and I believe in aliens.
Okay. Whatever. All right, so...
It just cracked me up.
Yeah, so everybody gets in their mission clothes.
Because it's time for the first mission/challenge.
Yes.
And there's $30K on the table for this one.
$30K.
Ooh.
Not too shabby.
That's a big chunk of that potential $250,000 prize.
Yes, well, you know who wasn't there?
Tamra. She wasn't feeling good.
I wonder if she had the poops, or I wonder if she had, like, COVID or something.
I don't know.
Or I wonder if she was just, like...
I don't know, but she had to sit out the challenge.
Yeah. So, it's a water puzzle.
This was a very cool challenge. I feel like this show has great competitions.
They were at a lock. It wasn't Loch Ness.
I like the little joke about the gift shops, because... One of my dream vacations is Scotland, and I really want to go to Loch Ness.
Right.
And I really want to get, like, a Nessie
Ness
plushie
doll?
from the gift shop.
You should crochet one.
I know, but I want to buy one from
maybe
Loch
you could
Ness.
do both.
Yeah, of course.
Maybe you could do both. All right, so this is a water puzzle. So there's pontoons out there with puzzle pieces that are pretty big. They look like what, like 12 by 12?
They were pretty large, yeah.
Maybe 10 by 10? 8 by 8,
mm-hmm.
And they're all tied up to buoys out there. they have to put them together, and when they're put together, they light it up on fire, and it makes a picture.
Right. But it's a little more complicated than that.
They don't know what the picture is.
Oh. Yeah, there was this area on one of the shores that had messages in a bottle.
They were strewn.
Yes.
They were thrown out.
And some team members had to go and look at those and try and find the puzzle.
The puzzle picture.
Yeah, the puzzle picture.
But there were also 3 shields of safety up for grabs.
So this is a new thing that they're adding in this season.
Right.
That you can actually gain safety from the challenges.
Right. Well, I mean, they had the shields before, but that would be like the winners.
That was like a whole other thing.
Of the challenge would get like a shield or like...
Yeah. I feel like they didn't bring that in till like towards the end of last season.
I don't know about the end, but...
Like second half
I don't think it was at the beginning.
No.
And there's one more layer. Allan says, "Oh, Fergus."
Yeah, beard dude.
"Bring your guys out here, because you're going to get tied up to a freaking post."
Oh. Everybody looked a little shocked when they found out that they were going to start this thing tied up.
They were like tied hands behind their backs.
But also tied to the post.
Tied to the post.
And they only had 40 minutes total to complete this challenge. So that's already going to knock off a few minutes trying to get untied.
Yeah. All right. So this was crazy. Janelle escaped first from the binds, ropes.
All right. Instead of like immediately going and helping her fellow competitors, she was like, I'm going to go get that shield.
Screw you.
I mean, I think she was feeling extra nervous about this first murder because she called out MP John so early and loudly in front of everybody. So she was like, I might get murdered, so I need to just like get the safety. And honestly, it is a very Janelle move to do that. And if anybody can clean that up, it's her. So
exactly. So she got it.
Good for her. Some people were like, yeah, good for you. Some people were like,
why didn't you help us? Yeah. Help us. Wow. So we don't know what we're doing.
There were definitely mixed reactions to that.
Yeah.
But once everybody was getting untied, honestly, I feel like this group was very chaotic. They did not have like set plans and like who was doing what.
Exactly.
So
they were pretty clueless because when you look at it, what is the percentage of people that were on actual challenge shows? Yeah. If you weren't on Survivor or if you weren't on Big Brother or The Challenge, you're like a nobody challenge-wise. Mm-hmm. Like you were on a reality show, but it wasn't like there was physical challenges that you had to complete.
Right. Well, the people that were on those types of shows really excelled here and were trying to like take the lead for the most part. Right. Like CT and Johnny Bananas. Yeah. We're just like, what are we doing here, people? Like, let's get it together. You had some people who were in boats going to retrieve the puzzle pieces.
In the first Alpha boat was Deontay, Marcus, CT, and Max.
Right. And they were doing pretty well.
Max? Or I think it was, Max, right? Yeah. And then the second boat was John, the MP, Johnny, Kevin. Was there a fourth in that boat? There might have been. I didn't see who it was, though.
I'm not sure now, but they were having a tough time.
They really were. Johnny Bananas was like freaking launching the boat. John was standing up. He landed on his freaking coccyx.
Kevin, we don't know him that well. Apparently he's from Bling Nation, which is like about rich people, so
I don't think he knows what's going on.
I guess he's a rich boy.
Or he's just maybe he just doesn't care.
He just seems to be in shock most of the time, just like...
Yeah. Looking for the map, for the most part, were Peppermint, Janelle, Cherie. Mm-hmm. I think Bergie was the last one.
Oh my god. Everybody was off doing their stuff.
To the post.
He was still tied up. And
Phaedra and I think Sandra were still trying to untie him.
They were like, you're young, we need you.
Yeah. So the boats are boating and CT is like, I see a shield.
Coming up on a shield.
And everybody in the boat is all like...
Yeah.
CT doesn't waste a second and jumps off and starts swimming for the shield. Mm-hmm. Not to be outdone by Deontay, who sees the other shield on the other side and is like, well, if CT's going for a shield, so am I.
Honestly, Janelle better not get any crap if they're not also going to give crap to these two guys.
Exactly.
I mean, really. So all of the shields were claimed. So Janelle, CT, and Deontay are all safe from this first murder.
Yes. And then they ended up finding the clue, the message in the bottle. Mm-hmm. I don't know who found it.
Yeah, I'm not sure who exactly found it.
But Janelle grabbed it and said, like, we found
it's a shield.
The clue.
Do you think when she was saying it's a shield, everyone was like, we know, you got a shield. Like, relax.
Maybe.
But no, the puzzle
is in the shape of a shield with some, like, little Celtic symbol in the middle.
Right. So this group is, like, struggling to get this puzzle together because there's too many cooks in the kitchen. Too many people looking at
too many cooks.
Yeah, too many people looking at the answer sheet.
Yeah.
And trying to direct traffic, and it's confusing.
It was a mess. There's like 2 minutes left, and maybe like 3 pieces are in place.
I cannot believe how close this was.
CT kept yelling, help, help, help. Everybody who's out on the shore, get in the water, help. We need everybody. Everybody was just like,
yeah. So,
what's going on?
Amazingly, they got the puzzle together.
I can't believe they got it together.
I know, but then they all have to get back to land before they can hit the detonator.
Right. And they did it.
They did it. What? It came down to, like, the last second. Could that have been real, or do you think they, like, doctored that up? Because I remember some close calls last season, too, and I was like, is this for real? Maybe. I don't know.
Only Allan knows.
Yeah, but they made it, so the $30,000 was deposited into the prize bank.
What do you think is the lifespan of Kevin, MP John, and Bergie? Do you think they'll keep them around as, like, chop meat? Or
it
do you
depends.
Think
I mean, maybe they'll use them as scapegoats at some point. But, I mean, I don't know how much of a game player, any of them will be.
I don't think you can fake indifference, These guys are just like...
I don't know.
All right, so can't believe how close it was, but they made it.
All right, now that that's out of the way.
Dinner! Get back into your first look.
Right.
And then
back to one.
We're going to have dinner and pretend that we're going to eat and socialize and then go up to our little castle bedrooms.
Right. So this is a chance for the established traitors, Dan and Phaedra, to try and feel out who they want to invite to also be a traitor. Right. So naturally, Dan is like, oh, Janelle, big brother, like maybe she could be good.
See, to me, that would be so obvious if they were to pick Janelle. So obvious.
Keep in mind, we have not watched episode 2 yet, so we don't know who was picked. We're trying to keep this fresh.
Yeah, we're trying to keep it fresh. Dan is also considering Sandra. Also a big red flag to me. Parvati. See, I would pick somebody like Bergie. To be like... they
somebody to throw under the bus easily, potentially.
Yeah.
Well, I guess he really wants to stick with the people that he knows are going to be good strategizers. And then he figures if it comes down to it, he's also a really good strategizer, so he thinks he'll be able to cut them before they cut him.
Right.
So that's what it seems like. But he's definitely sticking with that CBS crew.
Yeah. CBS all the way.
CBS reality.
All right. So Allan says, oh... The chimes, they are calling. It's Betty Buys. And Lala had on a little robe, too.
The little cloak, oh my god.
Aww.
Yes, so now it is time to christen Dan and Phaedra as traitors.
So they meet Allan somewhere in a dumpster.
Yeah.
And Alan's like, are you going to do this or what?
Are you going to do the murders?
You going to take the oath?
They said yes.
Yeah. So then they go into that secret little turret room with their robes on, and they unrobe. And they're like, oh my god.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's you.
They seem pretty excited to be working together.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And they've both been doing a good job so far. I mean, neither of them were like, I'm a traitor.
Yeah.
In front of everybody.
Yeah.
So that's a good start for them.
Right. So between the two of them, they start talking about who they would, whose hat they're going to throw in that ring.
Yeah.
So Dan, of course, says, I want Janelle, possibly, maybe Parvati, maybe Sandra.
And Phaedra's like, yeah, I've heard that they're good. She's not super familiar with the Big Brother and Survivor crowds. But she also wants to maybe bring in Larsa.
To which I was like, are you kidding me? She's like one of the last people I would have picked.
I mean, I could see potentially picking her because she's like a shield in front of them, because she would be a more obvious choice when they're trying to find a traitor.
But that relationship between her and her boyfriend on the show, I would never...
No, that's a problem.
I would never separate them.
Yeah. You mean like you can't have one be a faithful and one be a traitor?
Right.
Because they'll share information.
Exactly.
No.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No.
So, the episode ended on a cliffhanger. Allan delivers the note to the next potential traitor.
Bed.
Betty buys.
Yeah, they pretended they were in their castle bedroom and like they heard the footsteps in the hall and they all turned on their lights and they were like...
Yeah. Well, we're going to find out.
They probably said, look, get out. You got to go to the hotel. Get up.
Yeah. We're going to find out in the next episode who the new traitor is, who they decide to murder.
At breakfast, they find... I love how they have them come in for breakfast and like whoever doesn't show up, they're like, oh
they're dead.
Guess you're dead.
Yeah. So...
No memorial, no funeral.
Right. We want to know from you guys, did you enjoy this premiere? I feel like it's off to a really good start.
Yes, it was great.
And we will be back in a little while with our next recap.
Two more videos today. It's just too good to be true.
Yeah.
It's just too good.
So thank you all so much for watching. We'll be back in a little bit. And until then, much love.